Welcome to the Black Men Think podcast. If this is your first time here, know that the views and opinions expressed by the Black Men Think podcast are those of the Black Men Think podcast and not the individual members. With that being said, we're about to be unapologetically, undeniably black. Enjoy.
Like try to reach out without creating this.
You can't even look at it. You can't even like them. Like
You can't.
Nah.
like I be having like I mean somebody DM'd me a year ago. Somebody DM'd me a year ago, a little old thing, and I said I showed my wife like, all right, I'm not replying to this. It's just, you just gotta stay away.
Got to, bro.
Yeah. If you dance
Be lurking,
around,
bro. They be lurking, bro.
Yeah.
And that's smart too, because
I don't trust myself sometimes.
they didn't even that though. That person
Straight up.
know enough about you to make your wife think that. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? All she gotta do is pull up something. Well, I know you got.
That's
this.
true.
It's like, I
Hey, innocent.
never said that.
I just
but
feel like, hey, hold up. I
you
don't
got
even.
enough context from your past to like.
Bro, I'm present on some social media. I am not active.
Yeah, ain't gonna lie.
Because that's my guard, bro. Like at the end of the day, I don't even want
That's
the
a wild
opportunity,
place.
bro.
Ain't
I
gonna lie.
don't even want the
It
opportunity.
is. It's a wild place, bro.
Wow.
It's a wild place. You have to, and it sucks too because you can fool yourself in thinking that, I need to be there because of what I do.
Facts.
Right? But, you have to, but you got to know how to, like, no DMs. No. DMs are, no.
DMs are bad.
No. DMs are bad, bro. Like, I'm sorry, you can't do DMs. Like, you can be on social media, you can post your content, but when it comes to...
It's got to be, like, framed as really...
Actually, it's got to be a short conversation that's introductory and it's got to lead to an email.
It's got to, There's no conversation on the DM.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No conversation. It's a tour you already.
Yeah.
Bro,
Straight
that
up.
No, bro.
Facts.
No, you can't.
The
No.
DMs, boy, it's literally like a recorded scroll of history.
Well, and so what'll happen? I don't know if this happened to y'all. We've talked about this before, but y'all may have haven't heard it. But on Facebook, right? Say somebody just casually message you, because now they have it where everything connected. Like if you comment on something, that junk can fall into the messenger, right? It's weird.
That is weird.
So what?
Thank you.
So what happened? Somebody commented on something and messaged me about something legit, and I forgot what it was, but I was able to see our entire, you see this message said January 1st, 2024.
I know you're going.
But the message before that had January 1st, 2008.
Yeah.
And so you know what you're gonna do. I'm looking up. I'm like, yo, this is wild. Because I'm looking at this, our last exchange was not about what we're talking about today.
Gotcha.
Right? But I'm like, it's just so much open for interpretation, because if I did that, I'm almost certain that person did the same thing, right? And maybe they didn't. Maybe, but I'm sure they looked back and saw that. And so I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, social media is a wild place and things are coming out now. And thankfully it's wasn't nothing malicious, but it was just I can read and tell I was on a different type of time.
Yeah.
Back in 2008, right?
Thank God, that's why I'm only on LinkedIn.
Bruh.
I mean, I have my other profiles
That's
still,
the same.
but I never stopped it.
Yeah.
I don't check Facebook. I'm not never really been big on Twitter. I have a Twitter account.
What's the reason why? What's the main reason why you don't are not active on them? Is it because you just don't care to, or is it like a safeguard?
I think one, because I got out of that phase of life. It was bigger to me when we was in college, because what we was trying to do. But once I got out, and it just don't appeal to me.
Yeah, appeal to you.
Literally, I check Facebook maybe a couple times, a dozen at the most, throughout the course of a whole year.
Yeah.
And that's me forcing myself to do that, because I know I done got 30,000 tags from my family and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And so I go in there and try to clean some of that stuff up. But outside of that, I don't miss it, don't care about it.
That's a good practice.
I just turned into my dad them. Now I just watch news.
I'm an OG now. I'm an OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have, I have a Twitter account. I have an Instagram account. I don't think I've ever posted on Instagram once. And granted, it's honestly a guard for me, because not only don't I want to end up in DMs with somebody that I don't need to be in a DM with, I don't even want to see half the stuff that's on the thread. I mean, you were talking about it earlier, bro. Now granted, now I think I've taken like some intentional steps to purge my thread, you know, where certain things just ain't gonna pop up. Like, but that takes time to even get to that point where you like, bro, you need to hit them 3 little dots and say like, not interested in this type of post.
Yeah. When you have so many friends, like that's the reason. Because like for instance, when I get on Instagram or something like that, same thing. Stuff pop up. Like, oh wait, whoa,
Yep,
whoa,
yep,
whoa,
yeah.
whoa,
Like,
whoa, whoa,
like that gift.
I'm scrolling.
Yeah, you're
fast,
trying to go
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
I be muting them.
Yeah, facts.
It's too much. Like
It's too
literally, I
much.
have like thousands and thousands of friends.
I had to mute Megan Good.
Okay, straight up. Straight up.
on Patreon.
What I tell you.
That's funny.
No, we on
Yeah.
Patreon. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I mean it's real, bro. Like it's certain things like I know myself well enough to know like I don't need a constant flow of this type of content.
Right,
It's
right,
gonna put
right.
me in a bad space.
And I think that for me, the way I moderate is I just don't even go to it. So, like I said, I have it, but I don't even go to it.
Yeah, I mean that's a good space to be in. I'm not in that space. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I'm on all social media. Yeah, I'm
Streets.
yeah, I'm
Social
everywhere.
media guy here.
But
Yeah.
no, but this is what I noticed though, right? Like so, whatever. And if you're listening to this, what I really want you to do is go to your IG and go to your Explore page, because your Explore
It'll
page
tell
is
you.
going to let you know what you're looking at.
It'll tell you.
It's going to tell you, right?
Really?
And so, yeah,
Yes,
go
it
to
will.
your Explore page,
It's gonna tell on you.
and it's going to tell. It's
Say it
gonna,
that way, it's gonna tell on you.
It's going to tell
like, oh,
exactly
okay.
what you're watching, what you've liked, what you spending a lot of time on. Like when you're scrolling and what you stop, or what you scroll down and you scroll back up.
Oh, there it is.
Like it's going to show. And so I was looking on my account.
Coco Jones, ain't it?
And don't get me wrong now, right? Like you it's gonna.
Coco Jones.
I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I know exactly who Coco Jones. Yeah, I
You know what I'm
know.
saying? You
Yeah,
said.
I do.
I
So
thought it was
luckily,
gonna
mine
tell you,
is
so I
a
was
lot
just
of basketball workout videos.
Make sure you good over here.
that type
Let me
of
do a
stuff.
check real
Okay.
quick.
But I'm saying I want everybody to do
But it
that.
does
because-
have a couple of those other things.
but
I thought it was gonna be some Coco Jones.
Let me do a
on
check
there.
no,
real
that,
quick.
that's gonna be there.
Okay.
Because that's
do this
that's
litmus test.
yeah, that's
I feel you.
Instagram. That's gonna be there. But if you're 70%,
You in there?
yeah, if your 70% is that other, then you got to make some changes because that's you.
It's showing
Right.
you what you are.
It's showing you exactly who you are. Like I look at mine. Mine is golf, watches, basketballs. Like basketball, like clips. That's,
Nah, this got to be because I'm on your network. Your network, yeah. This ain't mine. This ain't mine normally.
See what I'm
Usually
saying?
it's Brian. Usually it's Lake Show football. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just
It's
going.
pinging everybody. It's a collective.
Right.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, so, and that's no judgment. But you know, if you take the time to look at that, it's going to give you an idea of what you're watching, right? Or what's and not necessarily all of what you're watching, but the people who your friend group is
Yeah.
watching, right? And so that means you got to make some changes. Either you need to, like Ace said, mute some people, or you know, it really takes about a good week of just like looking at the type of content that you want to look at, right? Like so
Clean
for
that thing
me,
up.
when I started getting into golf, I noticed I was just watching a lot of golf content, and so I was getting recommended a lot of golf content, and I was just like, oh, I was so at peace at that because what I'm seeing on a regular basis is the things that I want to see. Versus at one point in time, I might be looking at stuff like on especially on my Straight Out the Den page, it's all like rap stuff, and I'm just like, bro, I'm kind of like exhausted because what comes with the rap stuff, it ain't just people rapping, it comes is everything now.
People
I'm just
dancing
like,
to the rap.
yeah, bro, and I'm just like, all right, fam, like, I gotta,
You know what I say that is? That's you doing the Lord's work. He hung out with the strippers.
Get the mic.
No,
you know what I'm saying? But you know,
Strippers in the Bible?
yeah, they in there, prostitutes. What they call them, pleasure houses or something like that. It's in there.
There's nothing doing it. Let's just be clear.
Facts.
Yes.
Truth.
Yes, social media is new, but what social media does is not new. It was just done in a different way.
It's,
Right.
it's pulling from the same desire.
It's pulling
that's
from that
there
same desire.
since the beginning of mankind.
The lustful desire. That's really,
what
let's
it
be
is.
clear. That's so, you know,
It is, and there's really no way around it
Nope.
except doing what both of y'all actually had the best ideas. Either you got to mute it or you just got to cut it off.
Yeah.
it off.
One or the other.
And for a while, I used to think it was going to be so hard to get like not check Facebook because you know Facebook was just the thing
Yeah.
back, you know, because we were the Facebook era. it really was like, oh shoot, I don't look at Facebook.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I be on social media all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's
the
part of your
IG,
job,
it's part of
too.
my job too. But I mean, the older I get, there's been days like I didn't even log in. Sometimes I try. One of my things I do at night, I log out because I feel like when you wake up, this man talk about mental health and Gen Z. I'm like, bro, if y'all just stop looking at your phone, y'all might solve like 80% of y'all problems.
Fam. And that's a tough thing to stop
We're
doing.
addicted,
But
it's designed to be addicted. It works really well. They know what they're doing. They got all of us or most of us. But I try to log out at night because I feel like when you wake up in the morning and just start scrolling, bro, it sets my day off in a very bad trajectory.
It
It's
is
good to log off at night because
sad.
it's demon time too. You
Say
go
it
ahead
again?
and say it's good to log off at night because it's demon time too, bro.
Oh yeah. It's true. But I try to log out at night, not wake up with it, not touch it till I get to where I'm going. But I mean, like sometimes this stuff, different blogs, you gotta like. I'm like, dang, you just gotta like. I be on TikTok. TikTok is their algorithm.
I don't have a
suggesting,
TikTok.
boy.
I'm not getting a TikTok.
If you just
I'm not
wink
getting
at
one.
something, boy, they
No,
come.
thank you.
So I try to guard my heart. I mean,
Yeah, you
just,
have to.
and try to just not consume. And really, I probably gonna have to, so even like the shade room, I'm like, man, I might unfollow them.
yeah, I unfollowed them, bro. That was too much.
And one thing I say about the shade room and
Created by
spiritual
an
world,
African.
too, say it again.
Created by an African.
Yo, and she's actually a Christian too. It's hilarious.
I know.
Anyway, hate on Africans, man. What's up with that? One thing about shade room that I will say and spiritual world, they be having some dicey stuff. But more importantly, what I hate about them, what I've noticed, they always doing like spewing like black culture gender wars, bro. When you did a guy that it's like I'm like, man, they just be feeding us the same narrative a lot. Like, are you reflecting what's going on, or are you perpetuating a conversation and brewing more negative interaction between black men and black women specifically? So, yeah.
Now, I will say the one that, like I told y'all earlier, I'm on LinkedIn like 24/7. But that's also, I think, because that's what I
That's
delve
business.
most of my stuff into.
Now,
Yeah, from a
I will
professional
say
level.
this: LinkedIn is becoming.
No, fact. It is.
Now, when it gets to that part, it's gonna become like Facebook to me.
Yeah, because
I like LinkedIn because of what LinkedIn's supposed to be for.
Yeah.
Once it gets too far outside of that, which is not there, but I understand what you're
It's
saying.
headed there.
There's a pushback.
No,
on it, though.
what I'll tell you real quick, Mo. Like, LinkedIn is becoming what Facebook was to us, simply because the professionals are there, and that there's an audience there. So, like the opportunity to advertise and monetize those places are just becoming vast, right? And so you get into a space now where normally you would cast this wide net on, like, using Google and Facebook and all that, but now LinkedIn is so specific, bro. Like, I can just target these people on LinkedIn because they're business professionals, they're outgoing, they're always looking for jobs. So now I can target ads just for this group. And so what's starting to happen, people are learning to, like, now, it ain't just like business. Now I can show you my personality, because now I've learned that my personality is allowing me to get jobs now. It ain't just like my resume.
Yeah.
And so now you're seeing people who are, especially like influencers and all of that, they killing on LinkedIn, bro, because it's a new marketplace. Like, just like right now, we can't beat the algorithm with this Instagram. It's too late.
But what I like about LinkedIn is that how they cater it, and then especially if you have the premium. So I'm a premium member. So they filter out a lot of this bull crap. for
You're right.
me.
You're right.
Which is what I appreciate, which is why I did it, because once again, it is about brand. I have a personal brand there. And so I have thousands of followers because of that. And so the way that their business model right now is not greedy.
No,
Right
not yet.
now.
Yet.
And I like the fact that Microsoft is the one that owns it.
I didn't
know
either.
that.
So that's why you got to look at some of the, and so they're trying to keep it catered to a certain.
That matters.
Yeah,
certain
it's coming though. It's coming.
Yeah, and I felt that, and I what I was gonna say is I feel like there is still a cultural pushback on LinkedIn flipping and becoming something else, because I've also seen in posts and seen at conferences like, newsflash, your LinkedIn is not your Facebook profile.
Yeah, and so that's one thing. The LinkedIn owners is still very much a part of it. They like, and so it's
trying to preserve it.
Yeah, and they're trying to preserve it, and luckily they have the backing. But once they leave, that's when I'm going to be really.
That money's there, bro. Spend a lot of money on LinkedIn.
I promise you, either Apple or Meta money is coming for it. Like, somebody at some point is going to be looking to acquire.
Has to.
Well, Microsoft already got it though, so they ain't gonna.
Yeah, but
I mean,
until that price
Microsoft
tag
will
going,
say it. Yes,
that's what I'm
yes.
saying.
What's the dollar talking certain amount?
What's the dollar?
But I don't know. They probably won't because they don't want to give them that upper hand. So
Well,
that's the
that
other.
would be the
so it's a few
strategic
different-
approach. Yeah.
This is where the because I seen it doing marketing because I have Sales Navigator and I've done like marketing on there and put stuff behind gated content. So I get what you're saying too because the ROI is good right now, but also because of this whole authentic self that we've all right about that. So now you see
Slippery
the
slope though.
political party post, you see the racial post, you see the side hustle post. It's getting a little tricky. I don't know how far I think they're gonna let it go, but it is almost there. Because even when you post from the events, like, oh, we had such a good event. It's really just Facebook stuff, like, you know what I'm saying. So
Hey, B, just tell them to wait until jerks and skirts come out.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll have something for you. We'll have an answer to
We'll have an answer to
very
all of
soon.
this for you.
One thing that I would suggest doing that's very helpful, if you can, is to turn off notifications.
I never, man.
You know what?
Turn off your
You just
notifications.
said that
Always.
now. Let me go to the
It's like, because I know that's like one of my biggest problems, right? And so for me, a couple of weeks ago, I turned off my notifications on Instagram. And the cool thing is when you turn off your notifications, you'll forget that you turned off your notifications. You all of a sudden, like, and when I started posting stuff, I was going to be intentional about posting new content on Instagram. And that was the only reason why I was in my, like, checking my notifications. And I was like, oh, damn, I ain't responded to, like, people been hitting me up for like 2 or 3 weeks that I haven't responded to. And so it was still rewarding for me, though, because I realized, like, oh, I didn't miss that type of engagement. Like, I didn't miss every time somebody like a post or every time somebody mentions something, I'm going there to show. Because, like, bro, the algorithm don't play, bro. Right now, I guarantee if you open up any social media platform, you'll eventually get to some type of reel.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna happen. I can go on Facebook right now and just scroll my feed. Eventually, I'm gonna get sucked into doing a reel, and then what reels do, you're just
Shoot, low key, if we talking about a brand name, somebody gonna pull up their phone and you're gonna see an ad
oh yeah,
instantly.
yeah. It's just there, but that's the way that they're building all apps, right? Like everything now is just like TikTok. You're getting short form content just so you can be there all day long, bro. Like I need you here to spend 15 minutes at a time. Cause that's what happens. Like nobody goes and just there for 5 minutes and then dip. No, you notice, you catch yourself like, bro, I've been sitting here for like 15 minutes just doing this.
Yeah.
Right? And it's built that way.
Screen time reports don't lie.
Yeah, they don't lie, bro. You got to check those screen time reports. But yeah, try to turn off your notifications, man. It'll help some.
But pro tip, I don't even have notifications on my work email. Like, I'll check it when I check it.
I got to get better at that, bro.
Because
My work email be on my phone, bro. I got to do better at that.
So you have a work phone though, or are you talking about on your
I have a
personal?
work line, but even on my work Outlook, that's on my phone. Like,
Oh,
I
your
don't,
personal phone or your?
my personal phone, even though the company actually pays for a portion of my, personal phone bill because I've connected a line to my personal phone that feeds through.
See, you need
but
to
I
be
don't
like
even
me.
turn my
I
Outlook
separate
on.
it.
I just don't want more than one phone. I could do that, but I don't want
separate
more
it.
than one phone.
Well, for me,
I don't want that problem.
But see, well, for me, because I'm with a municipal or government agency,
you kinda
for
have
your
to.
request, if they
You
request
have
your phone,
Yeah.
because you use your phone for it,
Yeah.
that's what you got to do.
Right. Turn that one in.
You got to turn that in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
See,
so that's why I choose to have two devices for that reason, to keep it separate. That for that reason as well. So if it's a notification on that phone, and my phone is always on vibrate, so you never hear my phone.
Yeah.
I know if I hear a sound, I know it's from my work phone.
Gotcha.
And if it's after certain hours, I don't even care.
I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes sense.
That's good. That
Makes sense.
What I do like about two phones though, it proves that you can you can have a different behavior.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I ain't no apps on here.
Yep. It's just a work phone.
That's a real point,
I
bro.
just call and text on this thing.
Yeah.
And you don't even feel some type of way with none of
Dang,
it,
that's
like,
true, bro.
without it. But this, it's like just that natural
That's real.
proclivity to try to get into
Yep.
stuff. Like, I don't check Like ain't no boss up shade room and none of that.
Nothing. Yeah, I feel that.
You know what I'm saying?
But on this one, you got all of that.
You got all of it. Yeah, you got all that.
What kind of ratchet you want?
You just going in on them right now on my personal phone.
No, that's a great
real.
point. Because I mean, I don't have 2 phones, but I got 2 laptops.
If I say if you ever have the opportunity, I always opt for a work phone.
Work
because
phone.
I don't want you calling my personal phone.
Yeah.
If it's work, call the work phone.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And if I don't pick up, I don't pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
And
That's a
it's
good
like
philosophy.
They can't track that one like
Yeah.
personal
That
because they take it.
that's
out.
the other part. So
That's a good
even
point.
with
That's a
your
good point.
Your personal,
That's a real
they
good
still
point.
could track
Even if I
certain
got
things.
another line, it's still
That-
coming to my. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Real good point.
Yeah. Shout out to corporate America.
Yeah.
They always winning.
They always winning, bro.
Always winning.
That's why it's like that's the systems. If you put the app on, you ain't gonna win. Like, I think that's the part of the game too. It's like, you can't outsmart the $1 billion
Right.
unicorn versus like.
Like, I don't even know what this
your
app
brain.
really doing in the thing, you know?
Bro, and if you look at just about any app that you download, it's gonna say 3+ or 4+. They're building it for your kids.
Yeah.
Look at the movements. The movements are 1-finger movements, up, down, across, point.
But
Yeah.
what you
That is
also need
crazy.
to remember is that all applications, all systems are is a data repository.
That's it.
That's what they are.
Oh, it's all the data.
Right.
The data.
Collections.
He bought
are
it for the
happening.
data. That's it.
That's it.
Let's be clear. Because and if you look everywhere we're going, whoever has the most data is going to win. What's the next war that's going on right now? Well, from a technological
This
standpoint,
is
AI.
this is the Cold War.
Who has the most data?
That's it.
They gonna win AI because the AI takes what a large amount of data.
Dang,
Yep,
that's
and
crazy.
process it and give you output.
That's it.
That's all we've been doing, bro. We've been a case study the entire time.
Yeah.
That's why music companies is going to be a big part of the AI too, because they have a large amount of data when you talk about it from a vocal content.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Like all the music platforms, the Spotify's, the Apple Music, they know the customers. The artists don't really know.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, you have an idea, but they hold all
got
the
all the
data.
data.
They know exactly who streamed it, what they look like, what else
Yeah.
they stream, what they eat, what they search. They got all that
That's why
information.
Billboards is in a prime position to where they really could be a influence of that because they track all of those data, all of those
Yeah.
things. And
Yeah.
they've been doing it for
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
data
bro.
is
they be like, oh, we'll track it for you. We'll do all of it for you.
nah for
20,
sure.
30 years ago,
They knew what was going, bro.
Data is like the hack. It's the new currency.
When did the Will Smith movie came out about the AI robots? What was that?
iRobot.
Bro, that was like 99,
Yeah,
98,
almost
99.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Which means that it was thought of
No,
prior
no.
to that.
The
Yeah.
plans were in place, bro.
Plans were already.
We
But that's what they said with the 5G and the cell phones. Like the government gave us the cell phones like 20 years after they were
bro.
But you gotta
So
remember, the first computer was actually created in the 50s. But when was it commercialized? In the 80s? Or something like that?
man, if
You
we
gotta remember something.
so you know, like my homeboy, one of my best friends, actually builds these cell phone tower systems. Like this is what he does for a
I
living.
was on LinkedIn, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he project manages all this stuff. He's just got done building T-Mobile's network. I think now working on somebody else. I don't know. But even him, like the number of times that he said, "Man, like y'all phone's not even doing what my phone is doing right now because I have access to what's really out here.
Yeah.
But we're gonna slow roll it out to y'all, you know, because they're gonna sell it. To you,
Yeah.
basically.
Like, they have on probably 7 or 8G by now.
Easily.
Yeah, I can believe it. I mean,
That's
Easily.
wild.
But there's also, from a research development standpoint, they're always going to be,
Right.
the people that work on them are always going to be that far ahead of them because they have to be to prepare for us.
So even imagine the advancements that we see in AI on YouTube, and as mind blowing as they are, what
They are
is
so
AI
far
really doing at this point?
AI is doing surgery.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it is.
There you go.
Let's be real.
It's basically
It is.
do you feel like it's gonna disrupt? I mean, I know it will, but what are your thoughts on
Get the
it
mic to her.
disrupting the labor force? What does that look like 20 years from now? Because really, AI can kind of do my job.
It can
AI,
legit.
realistically, the labor force is really going to be changed, and it's going to be changing from more of a hands-on physical manufacturer stuff because you can train AI to do that to a QA QC type thing, ensuring that AI is doing what it needs to do. Which
What do you need to know? What are some skills that people need to acquire to be able to have that skill set?
engineering skills, honestly. Your engineers are going to be really big. That's really where the labor force is going to be going.
Yeah.
Programmers.
Programmers.
Coders.
Well, no, because AI can program.
Yeah, AI can program. Yeah. But one thing that I will say that's going to be helpful is not to run away
Correct.
from AI. There are a lot of people right now that's kind of like trying to tell their workforce like, don't use AI. You can't run away from it because it's here. It's already here. It's already proven that it works, right? Like we utilize AI on this podcast. Every clip that you've seen from this podcast was generated via AI. Every last one of them, right? And so the thing is, it's gonna be here. You can't run away from it. So what you have, if you're somebody that's not an engineer, you're not somebody that can program, you have to start utilizing it and be the power player of your environment. Be the one that's in charge of like using all the AI, because otherwise, like you said, they're just gonna push you out. So if you are the person that knows the most about it, it'll be harder to push you out because you become, like the boss of the AI, so to speak.
So let's be clear. All AI really is, in terms of a disruptor, is automation.
Mm-hmm.
So what industry has already been automated? Car industry. So what did they do? They had to change the way they do things. So the thing is, you can't be afraid of it because it's coming.
It's coming. It's here.
It's going to come. It's here already. So now is how do you benefit from it?
1000%.
How do you participate in what the economy will look like? And so now that's where it becomes cumbersome on individuals to study and look at trends of where things are going and try to navigate and move towards those things.
I got a question for you, Tori. As somebody who has working in government currently, also in law, where's AI's presence in government, politics? Like, what have you seen? Where's the comfort level in that space?
It's not a comfort level yet, which is also stemming from because they don't know how to oversee it.
Especially when it comes down to
Because
talk about policy and lawmaking. It's like,
Yeah.
does it even touch? Like, there's a fear of what that could become.
I think it will eventually get there, but it won't come there, and it won't become comfortable until they feel like they have at least some type of a baseline of how to govern and how to hold them accountable.
Interesting.
Because even in intelligence agency and things of that nature, they're already using it, but only to a certain extent, right?
Gotcha.
And I'm not, so I want to be clear, I'm not privy to all of it, but I'm a technologist, so I kind of can put together the tea leaves from colleagues and things of that nature. But until there's a better understanding and a better governance process around it, at least from a government standpoint, it's not going to do. Because you got to remember, government is about, basically the last line of defense. It's a safety net, right? And so they're not just going to let it run wild in their sphere when 90% of how things and research are started is from a government perspective, whether it's from a funding, legislation, whatever the capacity. Usually government is somehow connected to how it becomes. Like, how did Apple get the computer? Because the government had already been using it and developing it under DARPA and some of those other things. So the government, people like to knock on them. Government is actually a lot of times at the forefront of that before it actually becomes commercialized.
Absolutely.
Because they're either the funding partners of it or actually participants in it.
Or the protector. They got to filter what actually is allowed in the public.
From DARPA on the defense side to the NASA side, right? Those were your two research innovations that helped a lot of the stuff that we now use, from GPS to computers to you name it. So,
It just when I start thinking about lawmaking, thinking about how our public leaders write their speeches, granted, it's as simple as, let me use a little AI and get the language, and then we obviously adjust it. Or how invested do we allow AI to lead our what is it called, the chambers? You know, like how deep? It's just in my brain. I'm thinking, man, that's got to be one area where they are beyond cautious. But at the same time, to your point, well, maybe they're well ahead of what we actually have even touched.
And I can't be sure, but just because some things are constitutionally mandated that has to be done by Congress, there has to be a clear interpretation of
I got you.
what by Congress means.
Gotcha.
Right? So, for instance, writing legislation and things of that nature. Yes, AI might be able to write it, but each Congress member has to read it, has to be able to add their amendments and things of that nature. So there's only still probably going to be only so much that AI will be able to do.
Well, if AI can make my life easier, so they can wake up and get my kids ready to take them to school, I'm cool. But until then, screw AI. So
what is that in? That opens up a whole nother world too, because
if I can just push a button, hey, y'all take them boys to school, or shoot, I'm straight. AI.
I hear that.
Mess around and go to virtual school, but I'm about to tap out.
But I'll say this in closing: AI is here, and if you don't utilize it, then somebody else will. And I'll leave it at that.
And there it is.
Huh?
I said, and there it is.
And there it is, man. Look, we appreciate y'all listening. If you like what you heard here, make sure you subscribe to our Patreon. Make sure if you're already a thinker, tell a friend to tell a friend. We're trying to grow our Patreon. Shout out to our latest Patreon member. That was a great message that you left. And we appreciate it. We receive it. We thank you so much for your kind words. And we're going to continue doing exactly what you asked us to do. So with that being said, this is the Black Men Think podcast. We're elevating our black men because black men be out here thinking. See y'all next week.
The Black Men Think podcast.